Welcome back to Malaysia Ghost Stories. If you like ghost stories like I do, remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Today we have another friend of mine, Miss Lee. First question to you, Miss Lee. Do you believe in the existence of ghosts?
Yes, I do.
Why is that so? You have experienced before? You encountered before?
It was very long time ago and I was very young. So yes, I have actually one experience throughout my whole life. So yes.
Okay. Now I'm excited to listen to your story.
Okay. So you want me to start now?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. Maybe I tell you a little bit of my background. My father used to be actually managing estates, the oil palm estates. So being a manager or managing oil palm estates, we need to actually move location quite frequently, like every 1-2 years. We will change location, different states.
So you move from states to states, but in the same oil palm environment.
Yes, same company because this company is quite big. So basically, we will actually be going to different states, and my father will be like trying to manage the oil palm estates to make sure that they are productive, clean, and all those stuff.
But there is no difference than living in the jungle, right?
Yes, so it's okay lah. A lot of difference lah. At least we don't have wild animals.
Okay.
It is kind of a secluded area. So whereby a lot of oil palms and where especially those upper management people, they stay in bungalows. So it's away from the quarters, and therefore the houses are quite scattered around. The bungalows are quite scattered around, so you don't have like very nearby neighbors. So that's how the story come about in a way. So we newly moved into this new place, new state, Malacca. All right, I can say Malacca, right?
Yes.
And what happened is that I was actually around 12 years old, standard 6, and being a young girl, 12 years old, we love to read storybooks and so on, right? Those romantic storybooks. It started that well. Okay, so not to go into a different story. So what happened is that when we first started, actually, I love moving around and I love going to new states, exploring new houses. Of course, we will lose out our friends and schools, but I love going around. So coming to this new house was really quite an exciting place because it's really a huge bungalow with a lot of land space. So the land space is like it's like practically a house right in the middle of the oil palm estate, and there's no other nearby houses, at least for a few kilometers.
Okay.
So we moved in. So the first day when we went in was like just explore the house, just go and see the house. So usually these bungalows provided by the company is all with built-in cabinets and furnitures already, all furnished already.
Yeah. Are those like colonial style bungalow?
Yes.
Okay.
So of course, they have the occupants there before, because they rotate around, right? So basically, whoever was staying there before was also stayed before lah. There's people stayed before. When we moved in the first day, the first thing was we want to unpack our clothes. So we opened the cupboards, right? So me being very young, and to tell you the truth, when I was younger days, my parents are very free thinkers. We were not like Buddhists or neither were we Christians. So we are free thinkers to go about with. And when we went into this house, the first thing we noticed was when we opened the built-in cabinets, the Chinese, the fu.
Yeah. The talisman.
The yellow color paper, right? There were markings across all the cabinets. As in people stick the pre-occupants actually stick the talisman, and they tore it off when they moved out. So, but you could still see the markings there, lah.
The leftover.
Yes. As much they tried to actually remove it, but you could see it there. So the first thing was, of course, we being free thinkers, we didn't know what was it all about. Then we were like thinking, oh, why? Or maybe they want to be ong lah. They want to be rich. They want to be, I don't know what lah. But they just put it there for luck purpose lah. So we didn't really go into that. thinking of whatever it is. We were half a year into the house. We were staying there. Actually, for me, I didn't felt anything. I was like, okay. I kind of like okay with that house. Then during school holidays, my cousin from KL came over, stayed in a hotel, and I went over to stay with them. They were actually at this the very nice hotel in Malacca, and I stayed with them. And the day after that, when I went home, that was the interesting part. I went home like normal, thinking everything was okay. Then as usual, after dinner, I will watch a little bit of TV, and then I'll go back into my bedroom because I stay in one bedroom by myself. And what I like to do is I like to read storybooks and in the dark, like with a night light.
Wow, you are very adventurous.
But it's a romantic story, so it's okay.
Yeah, absorb yourself into the atmosphere. Yeah.
Yes, and that's why my eyes also not so good, eyesight. So to look into that is that when I was reading my storybooks into the environment, suddenly actually I heard this sound. It sounds like a girl crying from my window, outside my window. And it was very, very, very close, and it was very, very scary. So I was freaked out immediately. The first thing I heard was like a girl like that. No, I was like, initially I thought I heard something wrong. I thought it was like a cat or something. Then I tried to hear a little bit longer, and it continued on. And I tell you, I really freaked out because my someone all stand up already. Goosebumps all came up already immediately after that. And because usually when I sleep alone, I like to lock the doors. My own bedroom door, I like to lock it. I was like kalang kabut lah, trying to open the doors and everything. Oh my God, I tell you, I rushed out. I was like crying. I was like talking to my mom. I was like saying I heard someone crying outside my window. Then my dad tried to go out at night. My dad is the fearless one now, so he will try to go out and then see. Of course, being such a huge compound and everything, using the torchlight, try to see. You can't see anything. Like there's nothing else. There's nothing. Pitch black outside.
But so what is outside the window? Is there a platform where someone can stand? Is there a balcony or what?
It's a single-story house. So basically, it's a single-story bungalow. So there is a walk path. But the window is actually facing a very huge garden. I would say a very huge garden. And at the back there, because mine is facing the back, so the garden is like maybe clear garden is about 100 meters, like kind of thing. And then after that will be a lot of trees and jungle. We don't usually go that side. So usually no one goes there because there's nothing there. Then my father just tried to see there's nothing, and then he came back and said no, there's nothing there. Then later on, my mom asked my dad, should we tell her or not? So then my dad was like,
tell what?
You want? Yeah. So then I was like saying, what do you want to tell me? What do you really want to tell me? You better tell me now. You don't keep me in suspense. I'm so scared already now, you know. So then after that, they were saying, they said that when I was actually staying with my cousin at the hotel, there was experiences that they also heard the same thing. They didn't want to tell me because they didn't want to scare me. And on top of it was that actually throughout the first half a year, because we were staying there for half a year already, my mom stayed in the master bedroom, right? So the master bedroom has a linkage to the toilet. So she said is that actually practically every night, she felt as if like when she's sleeping, someone is touching her legs. Yeah, so she said it's every night non-stop, like someone is playing either her hair or her feet, you know. And she couldn't stand it anymore. So there was one time, and you know, Malacca is a place, Christianity is quite strong there, a lot of churches and everything. So that time my mom was quite into Christianity, so she bought this picture of the Last Supper. Because of this disturbance, she couldn't tahan already. She bought this and she hang it up on the bed, on top of the head there, the wall there.
On top of the headrest, yeah.
Headrest there. So basically she did that, and since then there was no disturbance. However, after she hung that, there was the crying that happened. And my father likes to put a spotlight outside the house so that can see lah. And practically every time when he changed the spotlight bulb, right, it will go fuse in the next few days. It will fuse out. So we don't know what is happening. We don't know what is the thing. So that was the one thing that I was like, seriously. My mom felt it. My mom and my brother heard of the crying noise. And Malacca is very near to Muar, and that's my father's hometown. So my father likes to go back to the hometown and weekdays at night as well. And my mom and myself will follow my father to go back to his hometown in Muar. And my brother will stay alone in the house. He didn't want to tell us his portion of his sharing of the story, but after we moved out of the house, then only he started to share is that actually every night when we actually are not at home and when he is asleep, he said is that there's a couple of times whereby he hears someone calling his name to go out. My brother's name is Kenny. So basically he will hear a voice calling, Kenny, come out.
How old was he during then?
He was 6 years older than I am, so 18 years old. Form 5 lah. Because he has removed class, so he was Form 5 going to Form 6. So that's why it was like it was. I actually didn't believe it that strongly. If it was me alone who experienced it, but when my mom actually mentioned about it and my brother mentioned about it, that's where I was saying is that it cannot be coincidence lah.
Yeah, maybe it's real then.
Yeah, and the fact is that the occupants also have this kind of symbols on the cupboards and so on, right? It really made me think a step back to actually say is that someone is really unhappy that we did something. Maybe my mom put a picture there or something like that.
Yeah, sounds like you have a poltergeist in the house.
I don't know, but I seriously, after that we actually moved out, and that house really didn't bring us a lot of good luck lah. It was there was a few sequence of events that personally we as a family we also experienced. So that's how it is. So that's my story. Although it was my own sightings or my own experience, was just that portion of it whereby I heard the crying, but it was seriously something that I will never forget.
I think it is scary enough.
Serious?
Yes.
Gosh.
Well, thank you very much for sharing.
You're welcome.
Thanks for listening. If you like the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. That will motivate me to hunt for more stories to share with you all. Until next episode, see ya.